Michael, I appreciate your question because I had the exact same questions when my oldest brother, a believer in Christ, when he passed from this life. I wanted to know, what exactly is Bruce doing right now? Now, I do know he is in heaven, for as we see, 2 Corinthians 5, 6 through 8, Paul says this is our confidence, that when the Christian is absent from this body, he or she is at home with the Lord. And then also Hebrews chapter 12, verses 22 and 23, we see that if you were to look into heaven right now, you would see God the Father, countless angels, the New Jerusalem, and the spirits of the righteous made perfect. But what are they doing? Okay, just within a few minutes here, let me give you some, just off the top of my head, some things that they would be active in. Well, for one thing, Luke chapter 6 and verse 21, it tells us that we will laugh in heaven. As a matter of fact, we'll be celebrating. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 14 says the whole new earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of God. Psalm 16, verse 11 says, in your presence, Lord, is fullness of joy. So we have a festive atmosphere and an enjoyable atmosphere, free from pain, Revelation 21 and verse 4. But also, what is going on? Well, it does tell us in Revelation chapter 22 and verse 3 that God's people will serve him. And it's interesting, that Greek word is the same word as worship. So as we're using the abilities possibly that we had learned on earth, Exodus chapter 25 through 30 give us a real good example in the Old Testament of people utilizing their particular talents whenever they have entered into the promised land. It's a real good principle there. And as we see that, we're seeing we're very, very active in heaven, involved. We're learning too, as a matter of fact, in Revelation chapter 6, verses 9 through 11, the redeemed approach God the Father and ask him questions, and he answers them. So we'll be learning. We also see in Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 10, it tells us that under Christ, we will all see things summed up. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 10 gives us the idea that we're going to get answers to our questions of things that happen here on earth, how they all work together to the glory of Christ. Oh, we'll be feasting as well, eating, as we talked about that in an earlier post. Matthew chapter 8 and verse 11, sitting down, reclining at table with the likes of those we have read about in the scriptures, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Also reminding you, we retain our earthly name in heaven, and also, if we have loved ones, family members, who are also believers, we'll be able to see and recognize them, because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's father, son, and grandson. The adventuring, Revelation chapter 7, 15 through 17 says, the Lamb will lead them. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 7, it tells us that in the ages to come, according to his riches, God's riches, which are eternal, he is going to bestow upon us kindnesses through Jesus Christ. And so we're here recipients as well. And as it says in Revelation chapter 3 and verse 21, we will be sitting down in glory with Jesus on the throne as a thank you and as also an honor for being faithful here on earth. Revelation 22 and verse 5, we will reign with him, no doubt having authority over the different responsibilities of the new earth and gathering together, recognizing people from our lives and beyond. As Paul says, 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 19, one of the crowns of rejoicing is when I recognize you at the coming of Christ. So, Michael, this is just a real quick overview. There are many, many other verses, but maybe I'll make another video on this. But letting you know, we get this three-dimensional idea, and even some preachers use this, and it really, really bothers me when they say this. All we'll be doing is just standing there and worshiping, and then they relegate our idea of this is worship is just singing. And we're standing there. And many times I've had young people come to me and say, is that all we're going to be doing, singing songs 10,000 years in a row? Oh, no. All of the things that we're seeing here, the friendships, the feasting, the celebrating, Revelation 19 and verse 9 mentions the first holiday that we're going to enjoy, walking with the Lord, learning from the Lord, going about on this new earth, getting to get used to our new dwellings, as Jesus has promised in John chapter 14. These and many others let us know the beginning of the adventure of eternity starts the moment we step into the celestial kingdom with God the Father.